Greetings, wrestling fans, and welcome to Flesh Wound Features presents Squared Circle Society. I'm Flesh Wound Dan, joined by producer Todd.
Good evening.
Pugs Dread.
Namaste.
Mike Kruger.
Welcome to prime time, bitch.
And our special guest, Will Carroll, a.k.a. High Pitch Will to you XPW fans. Will, how are you doing tonight?
I think I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Okay.
We're good.
That's a hard question, guys. I don't know. I don't know how I'm doing.
Well,
Will, first off, big fan of yours. You're just way too fucking awesome. I'm trying to stay professional here.
Thank you. Thank you.
I will say, though, the lack of dicks on the wall has me concerned.
This is my home. This is where I live. That's a work thing. That's where I work.
Okay. I would just be terrified or mad at myself if I didn't bring it up. Although the boar, fuck yeah.
That's Barbara.
Yeah.
Barbara. Yes.
Could be a trick wall sort of thing, like in the old Gothic movies. It turns around and the wall of dicks is behind there.
Yeah, I have to switch it over because I'm on a podcast. Okay.
Safe for YouTube. Safe for work? Is that how it goes? XFW, whatever the fuck it is.
Nothing is safe for work nowadays. Trust me. Nothing. There's no such thing. Let me hold on a second.
Okay. He's gonna get proof.
The High Pitch Will action figure.
Oh,
wow. All right.
Yeah.
Is that a prototype that's going to be mass produced? Because I want 3.
Yeah.
I need the alternating jackets too.
This is it. Yeah.
That's pretty fucking cool, dude.
There we go.
There you go. Exclusive.
Made it.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. That's awesome. We need to work the wall of dicks into a
I swear the whole thing's not going to be wall of dicks.
It won't be.
Just get it out now.
Barbed wire. There we go.
Although a shirt would be fucking cool.
There you go. Yes, a shirt would be cool. Yes.
So, Will,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get involved with XPW?
That's actually a great story. So I do a radio show in Rochester. I'm a DJ and I book shows. And a cheeseburger restaurant opens in Rochester like 3 years ago. And I go in and I see XPW posters on the wall. And I go, that's really weird. It's 2019 or whatever. Why are there XPW posters on this wall? And in the back of my head, I knew Rob Black was from Rochester. He had been living in LA, but I knew he was from Rochester. And I go, I bet this is like someone from his family or maybe even him. So I started going back and I didn't know I was talking to Tom Byron this whole time.
The legend.
Yeah. So
Secret
he's working the register of the cheeseburger place. And I just thought he was some guy, you wouldn't recognize Tom Byron. So then one day I go in there and I see Rob in the back and I go, you're Rob Black. He's like, yeah, who wants to know? And I was like, well, I'm a fan and I'd like to have you on my radio show. He's like, I don't do interviews. And then he really wasn't, this was before Dark Side of the Ring. He had vanished for years. You know what I mean? You didn't hear about Rob Black. So then I was like, no, please come on my radio show. And finally he agreed to come on and we became friends. And he just had a cheeseburger restaurant and we would, talk and hang out. And then they announced they were doing the Dark Side of the Ring episode. And he goes, we're coming back. And I go, I'll do anything you need me to do. And I had connections with a lot of new wrestlers and venues and stuff. So I kind of set a lot of the early roster up and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you were a fan of XPW before? Okay.
Yes. We didn't have it out here on the East Coast. So I remember finding a VHS tape of Baptized in Blood.
Ah, yes.
And I was just like, what is this? This is crazy. Because I would get tapes from Japan once in a while. It was hard to see stuff like that. So and then I think Shane Douglas and Chris Candido are on the front of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I know these guys from ECW. What is this? And I watched it and I was just like, I've never seen anything like this before. So I had a friend from LiveJournal. That's how long ago this was. And they would record the TV show once in a while for me. So I'd see like a random episode here and there, but it was just like a random VHS tape here and there. But I was just like, this is like the craziest wrestling I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think we all kind of had that reaction.
Instantly hooked, for sure.
Suncoast. I remember picking up Baptized in Blood at Suncoast back in the day, and yeah, just falling in love with it and actually being there. I was at Free Fall, which still to this day the most insane thing I think I've ever seen live. So
yeah.
My first show actually was Baptized in Blood, the first one.
Crazy. That's amazing. How did that change your life? That probably changed your life.
I was at every LA show from there on, so
yeah,
it came at a good time. It really did.
I was around 11 or 12, and he would not talk to me. So. We didn't really know each other. I didn't even try. But it would have been. He keeps saying it would have been weird. I think it would have been fine.
Well, at least you were 8.
Fine.
Yeah. See, I've been watching this forever, and I have the same feeling with Rob Black or XPW needs me to do anything. I am down. So you can keep that in the back of your mind if you want. That's cool. But yeah, and your connection to Kevin Kleinrock?
No connection at all.
Come on, that's your.
He was disavowed, and he told you were pretty good.
Yeah, no, I met. That was when I met Kevin in Philly. That was the first time I ever met him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so whenever I'm in trouble though, I'll message him and be like, "Rob's, what do I need to do to like make Rob happy?" And he'll tell me like he's kind of on my inside. He's like, "Yes, Rob will do this, Rob will do that." I go,
Rob
"Okay,
whisperer.
thank you."
We have a question from Big T. Pugs, you want to read that for us?
Big T says, "You've been in so many hilarious segments throughout your tenure in XPW. What's the writing process behind all these hilarious skits?"
I watch a lot of TV. I've watched comedy my entire life, so Rob's easy to kind of bounce off of. We'll have just like a general idea, and then we kind of just riff back and forth, and usually we get it all kind of on one take. But like I said, I've just watched so much comedy over my background, I guess, is in comedy more so than wrestling, so it kind of comes quickly and easy for me to do skits and stuff. Like that's where I've always loved wrestling, but this is the first like real involved I've been in wrestling. So it's always been comedy and sketches, and my radio show is just like real funny. So I just have a lot of experience doing real dumb Three Stooges type stuff. That's where I do best.
It shows.
Yeah. This might be a weird question. Were you a fan of Trauma growing up?
Absolutely, yeah. And like same with XPW, those were kind of hard to get to. So like the search for like these weird, hard to find things is kind of what made me who I am today. Just like finding something that nobody else in my school had ever heard of before. And that just gives you like that. There's so much stuff out there. It's like really, I mean, with the internet, it's so much different now. Like, and I'm kind of jealous that kids can just like find that stuff so quick now. But back in the day, we had to like fight to find weird stuff.
You got to earn it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, it might be a strange question. I only bring it up because even now, because the new TV is great and it has that spirit of the original television run.
Yeah.
Now my thing is like the Trauma Edge TV show and XPW TV, the humor, they were both perfect.
Yeah.
And like those are my favorite TV shows of that era. And
yeah.
And I don't know. I kind of wanted to see where you were, because a lot of people are iffy on Trauma, but I think you would have fit well in that humor too.
Absolutely. They're a little, I try to stay away kind of more from the potty humor, to be honest with you. They're pretty gross.
It's not all that way, but I get that.
Yeah, they're a little grosser than I like to get. But the Hershey Chocolate Factory skit on XPW TV, that was my idea. I was like, what if I'm like cleaning the toilet and the toilet's like nasty? I'm like, what if I'm cleaning the toilet and I find a Hershey bar and I just like off screen pull it on and start eating it? And that's not something that's really in my realm. I came up with it just because I knew it was gold. You know what I mean? But That's really not my. Chris Kloss is actually calling me right now. Let him sit around. He's in Tennessee right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, this is James Daly. The comedy has always had a natural feel to it, like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
It's a good compliment.
That is a very good compliment.
I'm gonna say I watch a lot of Kids in the Hall. I'm gonna say Kids in the Hall.
Okay.
I'm more closely
Yeah.
influenced by Kids in the Hall than like something like that.
Yeah, you're not that mean. Yeah.
Curb Your Enthusiasm is a little more intelligent than what I do too. That's a little more intelligible.
Can you tell us a little bit? You're also a publisher. You do National Teen Set Outsider. How did that come to be? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So I've been doing a zine. I haven't put one out in a minute, but basically I was just a kid in Rochester. I was never like in bands or anything. I would take photos and kind of hang out, and I kind of needed to, do something, you know what I mean? And so there was a pizza shop on fire, and I wanted to go take pictures of it, and the police were like, you can't take pictures of it. You have to be in the media. So I went home and made a press pass.
Yeah.
And then I came back an hour later, and I was like, oh, here it is. And they were just kind of like, oh, all right, I guess you can. I was like, wait a minute. So all you really need to do is say, I'm from a magazine and this is it. And you can go places and do things and like talk to famous people. And that was kind of like the start of my career, because I've interviewed like celebrities and stuff, and you just got to email them and bother them and be like, I'm from this magazine. And eventually they go, yeah, all right. Or you get to their agent or something and they go, oh yeah, like they'll talk to you. And then that's how it works. It's that easy. I mean, it's hard, but it's that easy.
That's
the
awesome.
footwork. The footwork's hard, but yeah, all they can do is say no until they say yes.
Yeah, why is he calling me?
Because he knows you're on here. He's in the chat. He's just weird. I don't know.
Munch, I got some words for you, sir. We're on the same team.
Maybe he's trying to enlist you.
Yeah, I was gonna say they need more faction members to handle Schlack.
You don't want that guy on your team, Munch.
I'm another big fan.
Hey, do you know how to get on this, or they don't want you on this?
I'm on it right now. I thought you were live right now.
Yeah, I know I'm live right now. That's why you're not supposed to call me.
No, I did it.
That's why you did it?
Yeah, because Chris Cross called you. You ignored him.
Yeah, Chris Cross called me. I ignored him too. You know I'm on a show. You're ruining the show. You're ruining the show, Danny. I love you. Good night.
Sounds like
These are the
Danny.
kind of things we have to deal with. Ruining
we
the
had a
show.
question for Big T.
Yeah.
You've had the honor to work with the legendary Sabu. Is there anyone you'd really like to work with, and what's your dream moment you'd like to have in your career?
Let's talk about Sabu for a second.
Okay.
Like that. I mean, if you had told me a year ago I would be in the ring with Sabu, I never would have believed you. I mean, I don't think that's such a. How do you top that? I don't know.
Yeah.
And so as Sabu, I kind of hung out with Sabu all day, and at the end of the night, he's signing autographs, and some fan brings him a Tupperware full of mushrooms, and he just eats them all. And I go, do you want me to put those somewhere safe for you, dude? He's like, no. And he eats all the mushrooms. And then he's just kind of sitting there. He's just kind of sitting there for a while, not talking. And then we take him to In-N-Out Burger.
Ooh.
And he kept being like, where's my bag? Where's my bag? I go, oh, it's right here, dude. Like, we got you. He's like, let me touch it. I go, yeah, it's right here, dude. Here's your bag. He like, but the amount of mushrooms he took, I've never seen anyone do anything like that before. And he wasn't a functioning human when he walked in. All right. When he got there, he seemed a little out of it. But then by the end of the night, his eyes were like an owl. It was total professional. as far as other guys I'd like to work with, I really get the most out of working with the young guys. Guys that hadn't been on shows before, guys that are just starting out, guys that really put in so much work. I get so much more out of that, to be totally honest with you. Helping guys get on shows, helping young guys, because like sometimes young guys come and they're kind of shit. So I gotta be like, do this, do this, do this, do this. And then they try it and it works. And I'm just like, that feels better than, I mean, it's cool to be on TV. It's cool to work with legends, but working with some of the younger guys is just making them look cool or good. That feels better than anything else.
It's been really awesome seeing XPW establish all of these new names in such a short time. I mean, Hard Body, that guy's been entertaining as hell. The Body. I can't wait for his match coming up with Maga Butcher. That's going to be awesome at Merry Christmas. Yes. So speaking of the event, XPW Merry Christmas, are you excited for that? I can't wait. I think XPW's hit a home run with all the recent shows, but
you can say all shows, Dan. Two of us here loved the first show too, asshole.
All shows.
Oh yeah. I think we haven't announced very many matches yet, but I think if you look at that roster, you know it's not going to disappoint. You know what I mean? There's so many. You could put those guys together in any matches, and it'd be amazing. You know what I mean? Just on the roster we have, there's so many dream matches.
Oh, absolutely. I know Psychosis is advertised. That'll be really cool. Kruger, you worked a tag match with Psychosis in Mexico, didn't you?
Yeah, actually, I was tagging with Supreme and Max X, and it was us three versus Bestia 666, Damien 666, and
also there too.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was back in 2016, December.
Okay. That's amazing. That's cool. And I met those guys at the Klein Rock thing in Philly, so I got to hang out with them. They're all really cool guys.
They're chill as hell.
They're getting older, so I mean, I wouldn't miss out seeing them. I don't mean to be pessimistic, but the things those guys have done in their careers, they've definitely they limp around. You know what I mean? When they come to the ring, you wouldn't tell, but in the hotel, in the restaurant, they're limping. I wouldn't miss an opportunity to see those guys if you have one.
Yeah, for sure. Damien, especially. I mean, he's been working forever. And I'm amazed at some spots he still takes. Like, it's insane.
When they go out there, you wouldn't know. But walking through the parking lot, walking from the airport, you can see it. It sucks, but I wouldn't miss them. I would not. If you're anywhere near seeing any of those luchador guys, I would definitely take up the opportunity to do it.
Kind of talking about, working with Sabu, are there any, and I know it's not about the past now, but are there any of the XPW originals you'd like to see at least do an appearance, not necessarily work, just someone from the past? Angel would have been my biggest request.
Yeah.
But it has happened.
So. Angel was great. Angel was great. So I was on a different podcast, and I don't want to throw them under the bus because they mean well, but Homeless Jimmy has been a big anti-XPW guy. So I'm on a podcast just like this, talking to a nice guy, and he goes, "Oh, we have Homeless Jimmy on the line." And Homeless Jimmy comes on, and I'm just kind of like, do I hang up the phone? What do I do? I don't know what to do. So in my head, I go, I better just be cool. I just better be a cool guy right now. And I go, "Hey, buddy, how are you?" And he goes, "Buddy, you called me a chump on Facebook 3 months ago." I'm just like, fuck, okay. I go, I'm sorry. I was just messing around. And then he just went off for like 20 minutes about how great he was. And I was kind of like, okay, yeah. Okay. But I mean, Homeless Jimmy coming to XPW would be so cool. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Of all the other guys, I mean, who else is even left that hasn't really been back that you'd want to see?
The only other one,
Joey.
The only other name that comes up is Chaos.
Yeah, that would be cool. But Homeless Jimmy versus like Schlack would be so cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Because
that would be a dream match.
is a dear friend and he fucking rules. But I would love to have him back if they can get the water under the bridge or whatever. But I will not fucking press or that situation. I love Jimmy.
Yeah,
Me too.
I think it'd be a thing where he comes in and just talks to me. You know what I mean? I'd be like, you don't even have to look at Rob. Like, I'll take care of it. I think something like that might work.
I think you can win him over. You're adorable.
Yeah, him and I were talking, and we were getting along just fine after the initial "who the fuck are you, kid" type thing. But we were getting along and talking and stuff after a couple minutes. So I mean, I think if I don't know how Rob at this point. How would Rob feel? You know what I mean? I don't know.
True.
Jimmy's talked a
He
lot of
doesn't like money.
yeah. So I mean, it would kind of have to. I think if I was just like, let me talk to him. You don't even have to go through Rob for anything. Just go out there, get killed by Schlack, get in your car, go home. I'll take care of you. Maybe that would work. I don't know. That would be cool though. Yeah.
Well, fingers crossed. Won't hold my breath though.
Dream match.
Don't hold your breath on that one. Yeah.
Well, another name that just popped in the chat was Johnny Webb.
Is he where is he?
He's around.
Locked up.
Is he?
He
No.
is.
He's not paying his cell phone bill. That's what I think.
You could ask around and find him.
Has he wrestled a match anytime in the past
I
couple
can
years?
tell you the day he had his last match. Shit.
Okay.
What year was One Wild Night?
I was trying to. I don't remember, but it was
2015?
14, 15 around that time frame. Yeah.
So like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Where does he live? Do you know that?
Somewhere in California, as far as I know.
What's his social security number?
7-1. Oh, that's mine.
All right. Okay. Well, I mean, I haven't heard that name in a long time. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about him.
Yeah, it's
Fried
funny
chicken and ass kicking.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever people talk about it, it's always it's always like the homegrown guys that are like get the most attention, especially in California. I mean, that's and we are like it's harder now because there's the way wrestling is now. It's not like it was, the first time XPW where people will just accept new gimmicks and do it. They're all building their own brand, social media. So and I love those original characters of the original XPW.
Yep, that's what put it on the map, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And I see it starting to happen now. Well, not original characters. Some are tweaked and they're becoming their XPW, and I love it.
Yep, definitely.
We're gonna get more Soul Taker.
I'm a big fan of the Soul Taker. Yes,
Be good, Pugs.
I'm trying.
Yes. No, you can say whatever you want. But
No, you can't. Not that one.
I used to go to Detroit a lot. A friend of mine, Ian Decay, was a wrestler there, and I was his driver. This was going back like 10 years. And that's when I first saw the Soul Taker. And I was just like, let me just, has anyone here ever been to Detroit?
Yeah.
Yeah, one time.
Okay. It's crazy there. It's like going to like Vietnam or something. It's like
A little darker than that.
They got
Yeah,
the 209s
209.
running around.
it's crazy there. I mean, I've seen like boats on fire just going down the river, and nobody cares.
It's another day.
And I've seen like little kids getting arrested for having guns. I've seen crazy things in Detroit. So the wrestling company was XICW, and it was in a small venue. You could smoke inside, and there was always a fight in the crowd. It was crazy. So that's when I first saw the Soul Taker, and it was kind of just always in the back of my head, like that this guy exists. And one day I'm talking to Rob. I go, "Have you ever heard of the Soul Taker?" And he's like, "The what?" I go, "Yeah, he's from Detroit." He goes, "Look him up," and I couldn't find anything online, like nothing on YouTube, nowhere. I was like, "I'm not making this up. This is real."
Soul Taker can't hurt you.
I've seen this, and there was a few like things like saying like that he might have existed, or it was kind of an urban legend.
Yeah,
So
like
Candyman.
Yeah, kind of like the. So then I kind of remember that he also did a Vince McMahon character. He's good at impressions. He does voices, and he does a Vince McMahon He's like Vince McMahon's nephew or something. I think that's the character. So I found that, and I messaged him. I go, give me a call. We're interested in bringing in the Soul Taker. So I talked to him on the phone for a couple minutes, and I was like, come to Theater Brutality. We'll kind of test it out. Just give Hardbody a choke slam. That's all we kind of want you to do. And that turned into like a car of 4 Detroit wrestlers coming to Rochester. So he comes out, the lights go out, the music hits. Everyone is just like, holy fuck, what is this? Soul Taker comes out. He gets on the mic. He says the End Taker. And everyone just kind of like was like, oh, fuck. Oh my God. People went nuts. And the internet started going kind of nuts.
Yeah. And
he's such a cool, nice guy. He's so professional. He's a great guy to work with. So yeah, we definitely are very high on the Soul Taker. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
There was that Ron Killings incident back in the day, so it can't get any worse than that.
I was gonna say, when me and Pugs are watching it, we were popping like it's the Hardy Boys showing up in me. There's not a more perfect character for XPW.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, we might be a little annoyed we don't have him in the West Coast yet. So
yet.
We'll see. Detroit is so weird because Detroit's right in the middle of the country. Right. So I mean, his drive into New Jersey was like 10 hours. So I mean, how much further is California than that?
Just let him know he'll be over and get lots of chance.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, and he's such a cool, nice guy. I mean, it's a shame that never left. I don't think the character ever left Detroit before, to be honest with you.
Really?
I don't think so. I don't think the End Taker ever really wrestled as. I don't think he wrestled as that anywhere else. He does a Undertaker American Badass gimmick too.
Oh, I need to see that. That sounds really cool.
Does he come out on a beach cruiser?
I don't know what he comes on. I mean, it was Debo. Yeah, I don't know.
But how do you compare like the East Coast and the Cali crowds for you? Do you notice any differences?
In California, most of them speak Spanish. That's what I've noticed. People get a lot drunker in California. They let loose. Every California show, we've had some fight in the audience or some fan attacking a wrestler or something. The New Jersey crowd was a lot of just like, white nerdy guys like us. You know what I mean? You, a white nerdy guy.
Identify.
So I mean, it was a lot, but the venue in New Jersey doesn't serve booze, but people can bring it in.
That's why they brought their own.
They brought their own.
Better. The old alcoholic can be not now.
Yeah.
So, in addition to all of this, you're a movie star now. I see you're going to be in Blue Murder. You're playing the villain, correct?
It's a movie where I get to be really scummy and a really bad man. And I normally do funny stuff. So I got to like get that in my head that I'm a bad guy in this movie. But it's like I'm like a drug dealing, like I don't know, a horrible crook in this movie, like a bad dude. Like I get to hit a girl and stuff. So I mean, yeah.
Is it done, or are you still working on it?
No, they're trying to get. I mean, just like anything, it costs money and it takes time. And the script is there, the trailer's done. We've started filming some stuff, but he's trying to get some money, so that's where we're at right now. So, but making a movie is a lot of work. Just like putting on a wrestling show, all these things are. You think they make things look easy, but then when you actually are doing it, you're like, oh fuck, there's so much stuff we got to do. Like,
didn't think about that. Yeah,
I didn't think it's
new problem.
Expensive. Yeah, it's always a new problem. Yeah.
So, are you enjoying being a bad guy on screen? And I know you said it's different, but is it fun?
No, I think I like making people laugh. I like making people laugh. So it's weird. It's kind of hard for me. I kind of got to go to a darker place in my head to get into the role. I kind of got to get in. I got to like kind of change my total mindset because I can't be funny like at all. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I got to really just kind of like psych myself up a little bit to do it.
Gotcha. Okay. So no future plans on being an asshole to everybody, like a bad guy.
When I first started coming out, they booed the shit out of me.
Not us.
we were the ones that did the first Wall of Dicks chant, dude. So
Well,
you were over with us.
Thank you. So like when I was first coming out, they were just booing the shit out of me just because I existed, I think. You know what I mean? I wasn't doing anything wrong. And then people would be like, "Are you a heel?" And I go, "No. I just am myself," and they hate that. That's all.
Speaking of which, you in one of your earlier interviews, you mentioned about not getting physical, but it seems like that's changed since the first California show.
I did one day. I did like 3 days of wrestling training, and it was terrible. My friend Chris, my first Chris Worthless, he was on the New Jersey show. At the first show, I was supposed to go out there with Pogo the Clown, and Rob goes, he's going to give you a clothesline and a power bomb.
Oh shit!
And I go, I'll die. A clothesline. He goes, I'll die. He goes, you'll be fine. I go, no, I won't. I'll die. What are you talking about? So I went to Chris Worthless, my friend who's a wrestler. He owns a company called Wild Zero. It's on IWTV. Check it out. And I go, can you teach me to do a clothesline and a power bomb? And then he goes, okay. And he pulls up a video of Pogo the Clown. He goes, this guy's going to kill you. So he goes, all right, the first day you're just going to take bumps. I go, all right. And I go, this sucks. This is horrible. This is horrible. And my girlfriend was there too, and she was doing better than me. And I'm like, fuck, I'm going to die. This is bad. And then he goes, the second day, we're just going to do stiff clotheslines. And I go, all right. And we got through it, and it sucked. Then the third day, he goes, all right, you ready for your power bomb? I go, no. I'm not ready for my power bomb. And he goes, so under the ring, they have this dirty mattress for the students to use. He goes, I'll pull the mattress out. I go, all right. And it's like dusty and gross. Like they found it in the garbage, this mattress. So they pull this mattress out. He goes, are you ready? I go, all right, fine. And the first one, I kind of fucked it up and he couldn't get me up. Like I kind of like squirmed or something. He goes, all right, this time we're going to do it. So then we get it the second time. And it just kind of knocks the wind out of you if you land right. You know what I mean? So I'm just lying there like, I'm not going to die. I can survive this. It's going to suck. But I'm going to survive this. I know how not to break my neck now. So I go, okay, I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm done. I got to go. So I get to California. Pogo and Vic Grimes walk in together. And I go, oh, there he is. I go, hey, Pogo, it's nice to meet you. I'm the kid that you're going to beat up. And he goes, he's like in a real bad mood.
That sounds right.
I'm like, fuck. And he's kind of just going off like, he's like, yeah, like I've had this horrible month. I'm like, okay, fuck. Then he goes, oh, I can't pick you up, dude. I go, okay, because he just had like hernia surgery or something. He goes, I can't pick you up. I go, okay. He goes, I'm just gonna hit you with this shovel. And he has this dirty old farmer's shovel with him. I go, all right, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. That works. So he just hit me with the shovel a couple times. So I never had to do the power bomb.
It's always next show.
No, probably not.
Yeah, there's always the future. Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. Is there anything that you can tell us about XPW Merry Christmas? Drake Younger, I know is going to be there. Beastia 666. Maybe there'll be another open challenge for the TV title. You know, you could answer that. You
would think I would know more about these things, but I can tell you that nobody in the world knows the answers to these questions.
Well, the two things we do know.
Yes.
We know we have Cyclope versus Schlack.
Oh, that's going to be crazy.
Like that tree topper.
For the deathmatch title.
Yes.
And the MAGA Butcher versus the Body.
Yes. Yes. And like I said, back to what I was saying, a lot of times guys come to the show not knowing what their matches are. You know what I mean? XPW is kind of loose like that. If we knew what the matches are, we'd probably tell people. We don't know. We can tell you who's gonna be there, and that's about all we can tell you right now. But Drake, I'm real excited for anything Drake does. He's been so great. I mean that match versus Schlack, that's probably the best match I've seen live in my entire life, dude.
It's definitely death match of the year, I think.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. And I was kind of up in the balcony for that match, just covering my face because of all the dust. The whole building's full of tube dust, and it was wild. Yeah.
It was great. It was a total like Japanese style death match too, which is awesome because they both have had work in Japan.
Yep. And those guys can go. Like Drake can go. Like, no, yeah, he's the best. They're so good. Schlack too. They're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kruger knows Schlack. I was gonna say you've spilled some blood together.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah.
I have you guys are running shows monthly now, so how's that changed your workload and changed up how you guys are going?
It's been kind of tricky because, like I said, now we have a show with 2 matches announced next week. You know, we don't have the time to build up for the matches, get people excited for the matches. But I mean, people are excited about the roster, which is the goal. But because we just ended a show, usually we don't do a TV show the week after because we're so exhausted. So it's like less and less time in between the shows has been harder to
make them.
Yeah. So I mean, that's really my only thing. And I'm doing the club now too, so I got to worry about that. And I'm a real person too, despite what it looks like. So I got other things going on, and so I mean, yeah, it's just But I mean, you know, everybody else does a couple shows a month. I don't know how they do it, but
we have Theater Brutality 3 coming up too.
I mean, that was
mentioned.
It was mentioned. We to be a little behind the scenes, we got a couple tickets from the police for the last one.
Oh no.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, they don't really think that's cool. The city doesn't think it's a cool idea to do that. We got an entertainment license now, so that's out of the way. That was a problem. Okay. So we'll see. I mean, we're kind of taking it day by day with that. I mean, that definitely was talked about. So we'll see. I mean, it's fun. It's a lot of work, but yeah, I mean, it's been talked about.
And the last one was all you, right?
Yes, that was the first show I booked all by myself. Yes.
And that's just wrestling show period. We know you've, you know, okay.
Yep. The Detroit, like I said, 4 people came from Detroit for that. So I had a whole car of Detroit guys come in for that. And that really helped out a lot. We ended up not getting Necro Butcher because he lives in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, which isn't close, but it's not far. But something got messed up.
Yeah, I remember a transportation issue.
Yeah. And so hopefully he'll be at the next one because he's one of my favorite guys ever. So yeah, I'll drive to Harrisburg myself if I have to. You know what I mean?
Hop in.
I asked earlier about like XPW people, like who would you like from the past, but just general, who would you like to see in XPW? Just, you know,
I'm trying to make like a punk like group. So I want Chuck Stein from Detroit and I want Rob Shit. Those are my bucket list guys.
Yeah.
Those are my bucket list guys I want, and I want them in my team. Me and Brawl and Bo with those guys. There's a kid who's a punk wrestler. His name is Tuco. He's a young kid. He's from California. I'm not sure exactly where, but he does like a studded like punk metal gimmick.
Is that Mike Rain's kid? No, that's Marcus Elks I'm thinking of.
I'll pull him up because I do want people to know who he is. He looks great. He's definitely
yeah, from California. I feel like we should know.
He's new. He's new.
Okay.
He's a new guy. He's been like wrestling for like a year.
Oh, okay. That explains.
And then if it's up north too, or in Central,
I think he's up. I think he said it was like a 3-ish hour drive.
Okay, so he might be Central.
Can you see that? Tuco Montez.
Tuco Montez. I see the name.
He wrestles in Lucha Patron.
Okay, yeah, I don't
And
know.
Santa Rosa.
Yeah, okay, so it's in Central Coast, yeah.
Yeah, but he's getting cool matches and doing cool stuff. He looks great. That's the guy I would want.
Does he know you're interested? Because I'm sure he would love to.
Oh yeah, his English isn't real good, so that's the only. Every time I've talked to him, it's been a little broken. But
Google Translate.
Google Translate. Google's we're gonna
Just make money with it.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, next thing you know, he's a turncoat.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, we do have a question on Facebook, actually. What was it like working with Mickey Knuckles, who's been also awesome in XPW, a match made in heaven?
Yeah, Mickey is great. She's also kind of like part of like the punk crew, you know, a little bit. So I like all the wrestlers that are kind of punky. XPW, we've brought in a lot of guys like that. She's exactly how she is on TV. She's exactly how you think she'd be. She's wild. She says crazy shit. She's fun to be around. She's got crazy energy. So yeah, she's wonderful. She's just exactly how you think she would be. She at the last show it rained, and her at the end of the night I'm cleaning up and I find her vest like in the rain, like all soaking wet. So I had to dry it out, bring it back to Rochester and mail it back to her. And my suitcase just smelled like a carton of cigarettes. Like
She's always one that tears the house down in the ring, but is also just one of the best characters. It's so great she's in XPW.
yes. And Danny Ramirez just popped up and said he can translate. Yeah. And at the last show, Danny is a very annoying human being, and you know this. But he was very helpful. He said it twice. We saw it the first time. We were picking up Lou Dark from the airport, and I don't think I could have done it without Danny. I was just circling the airport again and again and again and again. I was like, this is not working out. Translate. I cannot do this. And Danny Ramirez stepped up to the plate and saved the day. So every now and then, there's a win with Danny Ramirez.
Yes, we had Munch on recently, and always entertaining.
Well, you actually outed him as an insurrectionist.
Yes, I had a feeling that he was the whole time. I knew he went to the Capitol.
I know. I had the photos on the board, and they're gone now.
And, well, the FBI probably took them.
The full-blooded Italians, they're coming.
Yeah,
spoiler.
Those guys.
You mentioned your club earlier. You want to give some details on that? That sounds pretty cool.
So, like the cheeseburger restaurant that Rob owns, one day he was just like, what would you do if I gave this to you? I go, I don't know, dude, make it punk. And he goes, well, fucking do it. I go, I don't think this is a great idea. So I started booking shows there and DJs there. And it's, like anything, it's kind of hit or miss. But we were at capacity last night. It's not a big place, but the place was packed last night. So, I mean,
feel good.
Yeah, it's doing well. It was a red, white, and blue restaurant. So I took like black paint and painted over it, and I did a real bad job. So it looks horrible. And people are like, did the kids paint this? I go, yeah. So it looks horrible in there. It needs like 2 more coats of paint, but I'm like, I'm never going to get around to it.
It's punk. It should be a little dingy.
Exactly, yeah. And like, it's slowly getting more and more disgusting, which is what we want, I think.
Makes
Well,
sense.
if you're in the area, guys, go check out the club.
Danger Zone, Rochester, New York. We're only open 1 day a week. And it's all we don't ID. Beer is 5 cents.
Well, that's worth the drive now.
Yeah,
That's just smart advertising. Subject to change.
Oh, you can't get kicked out either. We don't kick anybody out.
And it's not a challenge, guys. It's just a statement.
Yeah, don't say that about XPW though. They're on the verge half the time.
Yeah. That last California show was crazy. Like 2 different incidents at least.
What was that? The one where the guy threw the chair at Necro Butcher?
Yes.
Yeah, but I was more upset with the light tube with Schlack, the dude that pulled the light tube away from him. That motherfucker, dude.
That's so
like
crazy.
that's how you get your throat cut, man. Like,
You lose a fucking eye, like for real. Like, jeez, use your brain.
So I went back and watched the footage of the guy throwing the chair at the Necro Butcher, and I'm even more confused by it now. The guy throws the chair at the Necro Butcher, then just kind of stares at him like a serial killer. And it's not, the guy didn't want to fight the Necro Butcher. No. The guy didn't want to do anything. He just wanted to throw it and just stare at it.
Look at my chair. Look at it. Is he the one that brought the mushrooms for Sabu?
Was he? Maybe he was on the mushroom.
Could be.
Maybe you're onto something. That could be. But the tube thing was just so weird. It was just weird. It wasn't like even like, it was just strange. The fans just get drunk and they're just weird. It's kind of great. It adds to the show, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, don't throw a chair at the Necro Butcher. Are you crazy?
Not a good idea.
They're gonna piss off a wrong one, and they're gonna have a Pogo like gonna have a bad day. And you know what? You deserve it then.
Yeah, dude. That's wild. Yeah. I don't
At
know.
least if he was like yelling at him in Spanish, I mean, at least it would have made sense.
It just didn't make sense. It just seemed weird. It just was so bizarre. Like he's just staring at him after he threw the chair. Did he not realize he did it? I don't know.
he was waiting for him to throw it back. That's the problem.
Throw it back. No, I need to sit.
Big T has a theory.
Big T. I think he was so out of his mind that I think he thought he was throwing them the chair, trying to do him a favor. And the minute Butcher turned around, he instantly regretted it. That makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
Big T, are you a lawyer, a defense attorney?
And I will tell you firsthand, don't throw things in the ring.
Don't throw things in the ring.
Or be next to a person that throws something to the ring, right, Todd?
Yes.
So I went to the gathering of the Juggalos one year.
No.
Just and they all throw things in the ring. They all throw Faygo bottles. They throw whatever at the wrestlers. And the Rock and Roll Express comes out, and they just were they could barely walk. They were so terrible. I threw a 2-liter of orange Faygo at them and hit him right in the head. And I'm not proud that I did that. But that did happen.
Well, you don't want to fight both of them. You might have time to get away, but
I could have easily slipped away, yes.
They lock you in something, I don't know.
Then it's over. Then you're over. At the gathering of the Juggalos, Scott Hall was there, and he was also like an invalid or something. His son was driving around in a golf cart all weekend, and he was partying. He was drinking. He was partying, but he was in like a coma or something. He was, and they were just like, they pull up. The golf cart would pull up, and he'd just be like, "Hey, yo." They hit that joint or something, and they'd be like, "Yeah, dude." And then he would take off, and his son would drive him away. It was amazing.
He knows exactly how to get what he needs. You hit me with a hey yo, whatever you need, Scott.
Right? How much you need? What?
Yeah.
I saw Tito Santana hanging out with 3 topless women, just hanging out, walking around. Like, that guy knows what he's doing.
Was he just yelling at Reba as he was going?
Yelling at Reba, drinking Faygo. He was having a great time.
Fuck yeah. Maybe I should go to one of these gatherings.
Right?
It's terrifying, dude. It's like Vietnam mixed with high school. It's horrible. It's like the worst of everything there. There's nowhere to wash your hands.
I believe that.
I was offered drugs I've never heard of before.
Crocodile.
And I was just like, they were like, "Do you want to try, this?" And I was like, "What the fuck even is that?" I'm not well versed in drugs, but this is something that I know was not on the dare list. You know what I mean? This is weird.
Glint from Strangers with Candy. You remember that show?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It's Glint. Let's make you numb.
Yeah. But I slept in the car for like a weekend. It was so hot. I don't recommend the Gathering of the Juggalos at all. I had a press pass. That's why I was there.
Okay.
I tricked them into giving me a press pass.
No, you have your magazine. There's no tricking about it.
Exactly.
Speaking of press passes, Will, we got to no.
Yeah, you need a press pass. You can get a press pass to like anything if you tell them you're from a magazine or a radio show or.
I'm gonna make us some press passes.
You just got to make the press pass. It just has to look good. That's all you need. People don't question it.
Speaking of looking good, that plaque you made for Sabu, where did you get that from?
There was a plaque place in Rochester, and I shopped around. This was still kind of early in my career, so I didn't want to make it. I wanted it to be nice. So I like shopped around. I put a lot of time and effort into this plaque. I shopped around. You get to design it yourself, kind of. So I made this like real nice, and I think like. I was like, Rob, it's only $150. He's like, what the fuck? 150? You spent 150 or like whatever it was. He's like, what? How much was it? I go, yeah, but it's nice. He's like,
Well, Will, anytime you need a plaque or a trophy, contact me.
Trophies. Okay. Did you make
medals?
slacks?
I did.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Kruger. Everything from CCW and UEW. That was me.
Okay.
So I got you, Will, and the price will be way cheaper than what you paid.
I paid like top dollar for this plaque.
You still get that, but more.
And since Pugs isn't going to put this over, he also made Sage's coat her ring gear that she comes out to.
I did.
That looks good.
And there's a new one in the works. So
that looks good. Were you sad when Schlack smashed the trophy?
No. Not that trophy. That trophy I was mad at. He had you know what? I'm sorry. I haven't made a trophy for Schlack yet. Tremont won the other one. That's what I was thinking.
Who won the second death match? Oh, Carnage? Yeah, okay. He was in that one. Okay.
Yeah. So, but I forgot how I was going with this. But if you need a trophy or plaque.
Were you sad when the trophy was smashed? That's what I said.
For Schlack? No, yes. I cheered because that was small and he deserves better. And again, I will fucking rock the shit out of that. That was a small trophy. It was a 2-tier with a little thing. I will fuck that shit up, dude. Trust me.
All right. Bigger trophy.
Hey, even if it's not related to XPW, you need an award, just hit me up.
Good to know. I got you. All right. Okay. I like the idea of giving like the Lifetime Achievement Awards to the older guys and then having Ron come out and beat him up. I like that idea. I like that.
I'd like to continue that, but we'll
bring in the Rock and Roll Express.
Bring in the Rock and Roll Express.
He'll give Robert another lazy eye by the end of that.
There you go. I'll hand out Fago to the audience.
Open bar of orange Fago.
Yes, exactly.
Just tell us where to throw them.
You know where to throw them.
Eric's in the chat. He says he's your assistant.
Oh, hello. What do I need assisting with today? I slept all day, you guys. Because I left the club. I left the club at like 3 a.m, and you don't go to sleep after that. You come home and you make a snack, and then maybe you put something on the TV.
You got that high going from the show.
Yeah, you don't just go to sleep. So I was kind of up, like the sun was up, and I was just kind of hanging out. So then I went to sleep. And then I set an alarm so I wouldn't miss this podcast.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yes.
Well, we're
time on Red Bull.
Wow, they're trying to kill me.
I made that too, Danny.
the Chris Kloss award, you did do that one.
What did Chris Kloss get an award for?
No, there was like the couple California companies that gave out an award for commentators.
Like he gave it the awards to like new commentators, basically.
I see.
Yeah, I know Kyle was a winner. I won
the inaugural
first one.
Delaney won once, I think,
and then he held it forever. I think he's still the current holder.
Time to do something.
Sometimes you hold on to those titles. You don't until someone dethrones you.
It's fair.
This is true.
That's how you do it.
But well, before we go, is there anything we didn't touch base on?
I can't think of anything. Can you think of
Well,
anything? I don't know.
December 10th. Well, actually, on December
Yeah.
10th, we're going to bring a pair of directors from Norway who directed the horror film Christmas Cruelty. So they'll be in attendance.
Which is now available on Blu-ray.
Wow. Okay.
And then we'll have a couple directors because I know we interviewed Anthony, Rob's cousin, last week.
Cousin
know-
Tony. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cousin Tony. Yeah.
and he'll
Cousin
be
Tony.
there too. So we got a couple of, 3 filmmakers there. So
Cousin Tony's a great guy. Cousin
Yeah.
Tony's a talented filmmaker. Have you watched Cousin Tony's movie?
We did. We
We did?
actually, well, me and Dan did. We actually both really liked it.
It's so gross. He gets gross. He's not afraid to get gross.
No.
It's hard to go, I'm gonna make a movie and get gross. Cousin Tony's like covered in slime and you see his balls.
Fuck yeah.
It's gross. I think that's admirable. I think it's hard to get gross. You know what I mean? In this day and age, especially, it's hard to get gross. Cousin Tony gets gross. You gotta respect Cousin Tony for that.
That's the type of shit we love here.
Yeah, we're all about the grossness.
I don't know why Danny's talking about his penis in our chat, but
Oh my god.
Till
Oh,
death,
there it is.
there's the DVD.
Cousin
yes.
Tony's
Ah.
movie.
Fuck
Cousin
yeah,
Tony's movie.
Hopefully he brings some when
you should.
yeah.
Dude, I bet that's all he's gonna bring.
This is a naked guy selling DVDs.
Yeah, he's literally only gonna bring DVDs in this suitcase. Trust me.
Well,
That's awesome. The 10th is going to be a wild, awesome show, guys. So if you're in the area, or even if you're not, it's worth flying out for XPW.
Most-
Will be.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think Dan's the only one who can't make the trip, but
Can't make it, but I'll be there soon. I will be at a show soon.
Just watch on TV. You won't get attacked by a fan. You know what I mean? It's safer to watch on TV.
But I won't get the mushrooms, so
Yeah.
I don't think you'll get. There'll be enough for you, Dan.
Yeah.
probably not.
You know what, Dan? You come out to the show. I'll get you some mushrooms. Let's just make that.
There we go. There we go. Last minute
There you go.
flight. I'll check it.
Yeah, but
So, well, thank you so much
Yes,
for coming
thank
on.
you.
This was awesome, and we
you.
will
Thanks,
have
man.
you back.
was I funny enough? Was I?
Yeah,
You
for
were
sure.
awesome. Yeah.
That's all I worry about. That's
Yeah, I
all-
don't think you don't have to worry about that, dude. You're
Okay,
it
thank
comes naturally.
I'll tell you like this: me and
Yes.
Pugs didn't notice the lack of high pitched will the last couple episodes, and we want
The
more.
first time it happened, I was very upset. It's like, where the fuck was Will? Is he okay?
let Mr. Black know that because I've been busy with the club, but I mean we haven't been filming that much TV just because there's so much going on. But let him know that you want to see more high pitched Will on TV.
You will have a "We Want High Pitch Will" chant on Saturday.
and they didn't get Will on the East Coast, so I'm not saying we're happy about that, but
Exactly. Yes.
if we don't get Will on the West Coast, we won't be happy. So
Exactly. Yes. All right. All right. Thank you guys. It was
Okay,
fun.
Thank you.
all right,
Thank you.
All
Will.
right,
See you
guys.
Saturday. Oh, before we go, promote all your social media bullshit.
Danger
If you
Zone, Danger Zone Rock on Instagram, XPW Will on Instagram. My real Instagram is National Teen Set. That's where I post kind of everything. So yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. You know,
Cool.
yeah. All right.
All right.
all right.
Sweet,
Very
sweet. All right, guys. Good night.
cool. Good evening.
Good evening. Good morning. Morning. I just woke up. All right.
Merry
Bye.
Christmas,
Disneyland.
motherfuckers.